I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie is called Ferry. Before he built a drug empire, Ferry Bouman returns to his hometown on a revenge mission that finds his loyalty tested and a love that alters his life. So it's what they call a Belgium drama. Just came out. It's about an hour 47 minutes long. Spoiler alert. Let's get it. So we get a flashback to when he was younger. He's hiding from his father and shit. Both Ferry and his sister are hiding. The dad's been abusing the mom like one too many times. Turns out Ferry's got a gun. Ferry's like, that's enough, let her go, when he pulls a gun out on his father. Then his father Jack takes the gun from him, and he told him, never make a threat you can't follow through on. He remembers those words as a kid. Because when he grew up, he started working for this guy named Brink. He gave him everything he needed. In return, he gotta do all types of jobs for him. By the way, this is what Ferry looks like now, all grown up. This is Mr. Brink's son's Mathis. I'll explain him later on. It's all about sex, drugs, and money. You know the motto. But Ferry's pretty much a hired gun or a bodyguard, you know what I'm saying? So one day in Amsterdam, he goes to meet his boss at this little shop. And Mathis and his people are coming up short on some money. They're like, man, just get it together while they're watching a soccer game. So everything was all good at one point. Until these niggas busted for the robbery. Brinks keep acting like he gonna reach for a gun. Mathis is like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Pop's trying to reach for a gun under the table. Mathis is like, no, don't do it. Gunman turns around and shoots Mathis. Hole in his chest, he fucked up. Niggas get the cash and dip. I know, Ferry. If Brinks wasn't so goddamn dumb to reach for the gun, your son would be here right now. Well, technically he's still alive at the hospital, barely, but... So he like, Ferry, find out who did this and get these niggas. You already know Ferry on the case. So he gets in the car, look at his laptop, because they got cameras everywhere around that area. And he goes backwards to everybody that was around that spot, and now you got a suspect. There you go. Target number 1 acquired. Yeah. So he driving, hits this random ass town. This little brat comes up to him talking shit. He's like, get out of here. I want to talk to this guy. This guy's name is Frank. He's a retired police officer. But more importantly, he's married to Ferry's sister. She invites him in. Turns out they haven't spoken in like 5 years. They're not really specific on the reason, but bottom line is they've been pissed off. So they already get into a huge argument. As she's yelling, her leg starts shaking. And she ends up having a seizure. So after the husband told him to get out, he's thinking to himself like, what the fuck just happened? He comes back and tells her the situation like, man, your sister's got a tumor. She only has a couple more months to live. And as you saw, she gets leg spasms, seizures, headaches, the whole 9 yards. He's really fucked up about it, but then he gets back to him at the matter at hand. He tells him about the guy on the laptop and where to find him at. So he goes to the camp where he told him he tried to find this guy named Jason. Nobody knows who he is. Old man says he's always over by this house with a flag on it. He sneaks in the house, doesn't find nothing. Here's somebody coming, he hides in the closet. And some random ass chick named Danielle. After she leaves, he dips. So after that, he finds a trailer to rent out within the area, and they give him one, which is basically a couple trailers down from the one he snuck in. Calls up Brinks to tell him he's on the trail. He's waiting all day and night getting bored. Then he decides to go to a carnival. At the carnival, he sees the girl Danielle being harassed by some dude, and then he easily whips his candy ass. She's grateful for being saved. Then she starts talking about her situation, like she doesn't live at that house, she just babysits over there. Watches her cat or something. So they was feeling each other for a little bit, all good and gravy. But he ain't supposed to be doing that, he's supposed to be back on the mission. He wakes up the next day, the cat's over in his trailer now, like really? So he's going over there to bring the cat back over. And she's so glad to see him, like, hey, what's going on? What's goody? Talks about he's new in the neighborhood, he heard a noise somewhere. Talk about it sound like somebody broke into the neighbor's house or something. But really, he was the one over there fucking up the house just to make sure he could go over there with her. Just so he could find some clues or something. He did all that to make sure she could make a phone call to lure him here. I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty smart. They have a little chit chat. She says she'll catch him later. You know, he's got his mind on his job, but you could tell at this point they're kind of feeling each other. Well, she's definitely feeling him, I know that much. So he sits back at the house and he pulled up at the driveway. There he is. He rolling up about to get the drop on his ass. He got him. He told him drop to a certain spot since he's not answering questions. So then when he gets out the car, this motherfucker jumped all the way down the goddamn cliff. I'm like, really? He had to follow his ass down. He's like, dude, what are you thinking? His leg was broken. He wasn't trying to tell him shit. So you already know what had to happen. You got done out here in these streets. So he takes his phone. I'm pretty sure he's got a bunch of numbers on there. Comes back and sees Danny again. She's like, oh, you all bruised up? Come on, I'm gonna patch you up. She's patching him up as they have a conversation about his sister. Gets him a fresh Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, she really tries to see what's good with him now. She wants to take him on a date to the carnival. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. When she was getting beat up by a boyfriend or whatever, or the other guy, she actually works there at the cotton candy machine. She kisses him and is like, I hope I see you there, though. So 1 down, 2 to go. He's on the phone with Brinks. He's telling them, like, man, Matthias is feeling pretty bad right now, man. So he goes back to his sister's house trying to reconcile things. She was okay at first, but then she realized why he was here, obviously to talk to her husband. He tried to apologize because he knows her condition, but then she started wilding out again. He did give her some medicine that Danielle recommended. Right after he stormed out the house, he asked them to get some certain information off a number of one of the phone numbers. He's like, I got a guy who's got a guy, but it's going to cost you, you know what I'm saying? He's like, man, my boss will pay for it, I ain't tripping. So while that's going down, he meets Danielle at the carnival, and on his spare time, he does coke. So the conversation came up, and she's like, shit, I got some ecstasy for you, what's good? She's like, my shift is over, what's up? Then they're at the table just tripping, talking about a bunch of shit. And he starts explaining his whole life story to her. Yeah, so at this point, they're zoned out. And then a slip of the tongue action. And the way it looked like they was taking their clothes off while they was still at the carnival. I'm like, oh shit. Then the next morning, they was definitely tripping on that stuff, and he definitely gave her the business. Yeah. After that, he walks her dog. Then the sister husband let him know about the second guy. He lets her know he gotta handle some business. She's like, I'll be here waiting for you, boo-boo. So now he's out to get the second one. He acts like he's a package man. Bust in there and start the beating. So now he's like, who put you up to this shit, man? So he tells him the third guy is Lars Van Kelsey or something like that. But here's the kicker right here. He said the mastermind behind the whole robbery was Mathis. I'm like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. So was Mathis running low on money? Like, why would he rob his dad? I guess if he had some people under him that didn't owe money or whatever like that, and he could have been sneaky about it and then just kicked the money back to dad to make it seem like he paid him, but what the fuck? So after he tells him, he kills this nigga anyway. He lets him know 2 out of 3 are gone. Unfortunately, Mathis passed away. He's done deal dead. Learning this information, I thought to myself, is Mathis not really dead? Is he gonna come back? But then I was like, well, Brinks wouldn't be on it. They stole from him, so it wouldn't have made no sense for him to cover that shit up. So then I thought to myself, okay, he died, just a casualty of war, I guess. 2 down, 1 to go. All right, here comes some wild shit. So he go back to his boo house. She gets him a beer, remote, about to fix a sandwich. Like, yeah, he's cheesing and shit. Ladies, we're not that hard to figure out. That's all we really want. Plain and simple. So as they just chilling on the couch, her brother pops up. Now they told her he had a brother or whatever like that. So they all greeting each other and everything. Turns out her brother's name is Lars. Yeah, you never thought to figure out what Daniel's last name was. Yeah, Daniel Van Marken. Yeah, her brother is Lars Van Marken, the third member. Shit just got tense real quick. Brother's like, yeah, I gotta go pick up some things. I'll be right back. And then Ferry's like, yeah, you know what? I forgot to do something. I gotta get my wallet or something. He's like, all right, come on back. I'll be here. And she tells her she's very dependent on her brother. He's feeling worse about the situation, but he's gotta do what he gotta do. And the slow chase is on. He chases him out to the woods, but he got the drop on him. He's like, look, man, I ain't want nobody to die. I ain't want no casualties, none of that shit. But with quick reflexes, he takes the gun back. So we like, oh shit, he about to get done. So what's he gonna do? He gonna finish him off? He gotta find the money. Where's it at? We heard a gunshot. He's back in the house. I don't even think he ever even found the money. He just eliminated all 3 of them niggas. Then Daniel catches up to him like, damn, you leaving already? Then he gets real harsh with her. He's like, man, I only know you 2 days. We fucked all this shit. And she's like, damn, like, what the fuck, though? And then he just dips off. Now, as he dropped it back to Amsterdam, he knows it was fucked up to dismiss her like that, but it's like, damn, you just killed her brother, so it's like, you can't really break it off easy. I mean, he had to go hard on her like that, you know what I'm saying? He gets back to Amsterdam to Brinks. He's got another guy by the name of Rico, who, let's be honest, is probably going to be Ferry's replacement. Tells him the job is done, goes to his room and drinks by himself. He calls his sister and really apologizes for everything that he's done. And they actually have a conversation without yelling. So he's just kicking back, drinking, smearing off. He's miserable, honestly, because he misses Danielle. Then in a flashback, we find out that he didn't kill Lars. He's like, bottom line, my boss can't find out. He'll burn this whole place down, nigga. You gotta disappear. And Brinks is the type that probably lets nothing slide. You think he's gonna let this shit slide with his son dying? Yeah, right. 2 months go by. He's been late at his job. He's just been a mess. Brinks calls him in to meet him at the stadium, but it's not for a job. He tells him, just go on vacation, man. Like, I can't have you like this, man. But Rico's like, all right, we'll get you one more job. Just meet us at the spot at 5 o'clock. Like I said, Rico's about to replace this nigga. So meanwhile, he's sitting on the park bench. He looks up towards the right, sees a bunch of girls on the bench. And who was that happen to be on the bridge? It's fucking Danielle. She said she was going to come to Amsterdam one day. So as they getting together, they both missed each other. Who comes in and kills the mood? Rico. Then she brings up the name Van Marken all of a sudden. And Rico's like, oh, really? Okay. Yeah, Ferry, that's not real good for you, dog. So as they're getting this other project done, Rico makes a phone call real quick. But Ferry already knows what's up. Then they have a meeting back at the house. So after a while, he tells her the situation. He says, Lars is not dead and your son was behind the whole shit. He says he loves him. He's like, look, one time. I'm going to ask you one time. You gotta do this, yo. Ferry says he can't do it. So you already knew what was coming. They put a plastic bag on him, try to choke him out. But somehow Ferry gets free, starts murking niggas. He shoots Bricks in his arm. And you know Rico gotta get done. And that's what happened to him. Done deal dead. Bricks tried to run, he couldn't run. And then he ended him. Done deal dead. And now he's chasing after the one car that got away. Cause you know he's trying to go after Danielle. And he about to pull up right beside him. Yeah, you see it. You about to be done deal. He done him. And it's over for him. But you know what's crazy? At least the black guy died last. I didn't even think about that when I was watching the movie. I was like, okay. And he wasn't even the main villain, but he was the last to die. And that's what we talk about. Meanwhile, Daniel's with the homegirls because I forgot she actually came out there because one of her girls is getting married. All of them are drunk and heading upstairs, and she happens to see him popping out another door. She's like, you don't get your sexy ass over here. She missed him so much. And they're like, you know what? Let's get the hell up out of Amsterdam. So then they both ride out and pay their family a visit, and she brought by cupcakes. So bottom line is everybody wants to try acid to get fucked up, including Sis. She's like, fuck it, why not? Then she's like, we can get it from our brother. He doesn't just sell it, he makes it. Ferry's like, oh yeah? And then we get the scene at the end. It checks out Lars and his operation. All right, we about to get this business booming. And that's Ferry for you. There you go. Some fire. Enjoy it. Ferry on Netflix. Check it out. Like, subscribe, do all that. You know what time it is. Sleep easy, off the easy, mister. Big. You got that slogan.